It was a cold, rainy evening at Crestwood Diner, the kind of night where customers came in shivering, desperate for a hot meal and a moment of warmth. Emily had been working at the diner for almost 2 years, juggling long shifts to support her younger brother after their parents passed away. She wasn't just a waitress, she was the heart of the place. She knew the regulars by name, remembered their favorite orders, and always made sure everyone felt welcome. But the manager, Rick, didn't see it that way. To him, Emily was just another replaceable employee. He ran the diner with an iron fist, treating the staff like they were beneath him, always watching for the smallest mistake to justify his anger. That night, as Emily balanced a tray full of steaming plates, the door swung open and a man stepped in. He was dressed simply, wearing an old jacket and jeans, his hair damp from the rain. He looked around uncertainly before taking a seat at the corner booth. Emily noticed immediately, he wasn't like the usual customers. He hesitated before picking up the menu, flipping through it as if the prices weighed on him. She approached with a warm smile. "Welcome to Crestwood Diner. Can I get you something to drink?" The man looked up, his eyes tired but kind. "Just water, please." Emily nodded. "Take your time with the menu. Let me know if you need any recommendations." As she continued serving other customers, she kept an eye on him. He barely touched the menu, glancing around as if he didn't belong. After a while, he called her over. I think I'll just have a cup of coffee," he said, avoiding her gaze. Emily hesitated. It was clear he was struggling. And she knew the rules: no freebies, no discounts unless approved by Rick. But something inside her refused to ignore what was right in front of her. She smiled and said, "How about a bowl of our homemade soup? It's on the house tonight." The man's eyes widened. I can't let you do that." "Don't worry about it," Emily said softly. "Everyone deserves a warm meal." She went to the kitchen and quickly put together a hearty serving of soup with fresh bread. As she set it down in front of him, the gratitude in his eyes said more than words ever could. But just as she was about to walk away, a sharp voice cut through the air. "Emily!" Rick stormed over, his face red with anger. "What do you think you're doing?" Emily straightened. "Just helping a customer, Rick." "You gave him free food?" Rick scoffed. "Are you paying for it out of your pocket?" Emily opened her mouth, but Rick didn't wait for an answer. "You're done. Get out." The diner fell silent. Emily's heart pounded in her chest. "Rick, please. I said you're fired. Now get out before I call security." Tears burned in her eyes as she untied her apron. She glanced at the man, who looked just as shocked as she was. Without another word, she turned and walked out into the cold, her mind racing. Outside, the freezing wind hit Emily like a slap. She pulled her thin coat tighter around her, but it did little to keep her warm. The street was quiet, the neon sign of the diner flickering above her like a cruel reminder of what she had just lost. For 2 years, she had given everything to that place, working double shifts, covering for coworkers, even staying late to clean up when no one else would. And now, all of that was gone in an instant. She took a shaky breath and started walking, her shoes splashing against puddles on the sidewalk. Where was she even going? Rent was due in a week. Her little brother, Jake, depended on her. She had no backup plan, no savings, nothing. The weight of it all crushed her, and before she knew it, she was sitting on a bench, staring blankly at the empty street. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. A message from Jake: "Hey Em, you coming home soon? Got some leftover pizza if you're hungry." She swallowed hard, her fingers trembling over the screen. She couldn't tell him. Not yet. She forced a smile into her reply: "Be home soon, kiddo." But as she put the phone away, a sinking feeling settled in her chest. She needed a job. fast. She spent the next few hours wandering the streets, stopping by every shop with a "now hiring" sign in the window. But rejection after rejection chipped away at her hope. "We're not hiring anymore, we need someone with more experience, come back next month," the words echoed in her head. Her phone battery was at 5%. She thought about calling Jake, telling him the truth. But what would she even say? "Hey, I lost my job. Not sure how we're paying rent next month." No. She couldn't put that burden on him. Instead, she leaned back, staring up at the dark sky. "Please," she whispered to no one in particular. "Just, give me a sign. Anything." She closed her eyes for a moment, exhaustion sinking in. When she opened them again, her phone buzzed in her lap. Unknown number. Standing up, she wiped her eyes and started walking again. Maybe the coffee shop down the street was hiring. Maybe the grocery store needed help. She would take anything. But deep down, she couldn't shake the sting of what had just happened. Not because she lost the job, but because she had been punished for doing something good. Little did she know, fate had something much bigger planned for her. The next morning, Emily woke up feeling lost. She had no idea what she was going to do. But then, her phone buzzed. It was a call from an unknown number. "Emily Reynolds," a deep voice asked. "Yes," she answered hesitantly. "This is Daniel Carter. I'd like to meet with you." Confused, she agreed, and within an hour, she found herself standing outside the diner, her former workplace. As she stepped inside, the sight before her left her speechless. Rick was standing there, looking pale and furious, and next to him was the man from the night before. Except now, he wasn't wearing the old jacket. He was dressed in a suit, his entire presence radiating authority. "Emily," he greeted with a smile. "I'm Daniel Carter. I own Crestwood Diner." Emily's breath caught. The man she had helped last night was the owner? "I like to visit my businesses undercover to see how they truly operate," Daniel continued. "And last night, I saw exactly what I needed to see." His expression hardened as he turned to Rick. "I watched as you fired the best employee in this place for showing kindness." Rick stammered. "Sir, You're fired," Daniel said simply. "Emily, I'd like to offer you a promotion. How would you feel about being the new manager of Crestwood Diner?" Emily's eyes widened. "Me? But You demonstrated what true leadership looks like," Daniel said. "Compassion, integrity, and putting people first. That's the kind of person I want running this place." Tears welled up in her eyes, but this time, they were tears of joy. "I'd be honored," she whispered. As Rick stormed out, the staff, who had been watching the entire scene unfold, erupted in quiet cheers. Emily couldn't believe it. Less than 24 hours ago, she had lost everything. And now, she was stepping into a future she never thought possible. "Thank you," she said, shaking Daniel's hand. "No," he smiled. "Thank you for reminding me what really matters. Sometimes, the smallest act of kindness can change everything." And for Emily, it turned her worst day into the beginning of something extraordinary. If you believe in kindness and second chances, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more inspiring stories. Let us know in the comments, have you ever witnessed a moment where doing the right thing changed everything? We'd love to hear your story.